We now welcome in the call the head coach of the George Mason Patriots, Jim Larranaga. Good morning, Coach Larranaga.
Good morning, everyone.
Another great week for the Patriots. Victories over Northeastern and on the road at Georgia State to extend the nation's longest win streak to 15 games. Talk about the two victories a little bit.
Well, our game Thursday night against Northeastern was a heck of a battle. We had the largest crowd in George Mason history for a weeknight game, and they were into the game from start to finish. It was a very exciting atmosphere, and I think our guys, knowing what was at stake, it was senior night, Cam Long and Isaiah Tate were, I think, very emotional and wanting to do very well, but Northeastern was the team that really controlled the tempo and really controlled the game for the most part, and then we were able to do some of the things we've done all season long. We were able to come from behind and make shots and make defensive plays, get some good stops, and come away with a very hard-fought victory. And I think that winning that game gave us the regular season title, and I think that really helped our guys just to relax a little bit. And we went down to Georgia State, and another great game. I thought they played extremely well, and with 3 minutes to go, the score was tied, and Cam Long stepped up and scored 8 points, I think, in the last 3 minutes, and we made some plays down the stretch that helped us get a road win.
I'm sure as a coach it's a lot nicer to be in the games where you're double figures up down the stretch as you guys did so often during the winning streak, but is there any benefit at all to play two tight games heading into tournament action and be able to pull those out?
Oh, yeah, and it's really three straight tight games when you add the Northern Iowa situation, and in each of those games, Cam Long scored big baskets for us down the stretch, and other guys stepped up to make free throws and shots. And this season has really been enjoyable for me because it's really been a total team effort. There's been someone every night that has stepped up. Andre Cornelius, Cam Long, Luke Hancock, Ryan Pearson, Mike Morrison, Isaiah Tate. All those guys have had a huge role in helping us win not only the regular season, but in non-conference play, some outstanding victories.
I want to talk, we've touched on it a little bit, but Vertrell Vaughns gave you another big lift, hit a big shot coming off the bench early in the second half at Northeastern, and then had a big first half down at Georgia State. Talk about how he's become such a key part of that rotation and providing you a spark.
Well, Vertrell has really come on strong this month of February. Extremely well in the first half against Northeastern. He came in and gave us a real spark, and then down at Georgia State he came in and hit 3 straight threes. I think he's really been helpful to us because Isaiah Tate has been nursing a really sore wrist and bruise on his tailbone that's kept him from being as productive as he was for a majority of the season. So having Vertrell step up, it's like the perfect time of year.
Coach, we got there.
Hello?
Oh, okay, yeah, sorry. I lost you there for just a second. Here with George Mason head coach Jim Larranaga. If you have a question for Coach Larranaga, just hit *1 on your keypad, and we'll get to your question as soon as we can. We have a question for you in queue from Paul Woody at the Richmond Times-Dispatch. Go ahead, Paul.
Morning, Coach. How are you today?
Hi, Paul.
Hey, I know you're probably weary of talking about this. I'm sorry to ask, but I do need to get the question in. Everyone talks about your Final Four team. Everyone wants to compare these teams, this year's team with that team. Mentally and physically, are there similarities, and what might be the differences in those teams?
Well, the teams are very, very different in terms of just body types. The Final Four team had Jai Lewis and Will Thomas inside, who were just men. I mean, Jai weighed 293. He was strong as absolutely you can possibly be. Will Thomas was not far behind, both great low-post players. we did have three outstanding guards, all could shoot the ball, in Tony Skinn, Lamar Butler, and Fallon Campbell. This year's team is really a team. We've got a lot of balance. We've got a lot of guys who can shoot the ball from the perimeter. We don't do a lot of just pure low post play. We're much more of a jump shooting team. Ryan Pearson is our one guy who's an inside-outside threat. And a guy like Mike Morrison is really coming along and helping us offensively as well. But he does it differently. He's not the kind of low-post player that Jai and Will were. Instead, he's more athletic, getting up dunks and layups and offensive rebound baskets. So the teams are different, both very good and both very enjoyable to coach.
Having the big space eater inside, it seems to be pretty important in basketball. Can you get by, though, with long guys like Morrison, if you know what I mean, guys who are sort of lean, lanky, and just seem to get their hands on the ball quite a bit?
Well, I would say that, right now the way we've played as a team is the most important thing. Everybody can have their own unique style. You can have a great low-post game or a great perimeter game, but the most important thing is that you have a clear-cut way of playing. Your players know it. They buy into the system, and they just execute what you plan to do, whether it's at the offensive end or defensive end. And this team all season long has really been executing. They've been giving great effort. They like each other and on the court and off the court. They've enjoyed playing basketball, and we're going to continue to do that.
And you mentioned that different nights, different guys have stepped up, but has Cam Long, ever since his sophomore year, been sort of a glue-type guy for you?
Well, he's been a great leader for us and a great closer. Against Northern Iowa, he scored an alley-oop layup and then hit a three with less than a minute to go, or right at a minute to go. Against Northeastern, he hit some big shots to help us close that game. And then against Georgia State, he scored 8 points in the last 3 minutes to close out that game. So, he's been someone since really his freshman year who's been able to step in and execute whatever we've asked him to do. His sophomore year, he hit big shots in the CAA tournament to help us advance. And it's just been his personality that he's always ready to take the big shot and make the big shot.
Jim, I know Blaine Taylor got this question a little bit earlier. 6 20-win teams coming into this tournament. You certainly have been to plenty of CAA tournaments. Kind of handicap the field, and this is wide open and competitive tournament as you can remember in a while?
Well, I think it's the deepest and most talented the league has been in my 14 years. 6 teams in the top 81 in the RPI is a tremendous accomplishment for them and their programs. And the other teams in the league have also had some incredible runs during the season. Very, very exciting games with the teams that are in the top 6. And I think the tournament is going to be tremendous. I mean, we just finished playing this week the team that's seeded 9th and 10th, and the games came down to the last 2 minutes before the winner was determined. So I think the league has got a lot of parity, and there's going to be some great games played in Richmond this weekend.
What's the key, do you think, for your team to be playing on Monday night? What do you guys need to do well this week?
Well, I think we need a great week of practice. We've got to remember that the regular season is over and get focused on tournament play, which is very, very different. It's win in advance, lose and go home, and our guys have been taking every game one game at a time, and that's how we'll focus in preparing for our game, no matter who we play on Saturday. And we're going to have to do the same things we've done all season long. We're going to have to defend, we're going to have to rebound, and we're going to have to share the ball.
Got another question for you in queue from David Teal of the Daily Press. Go ahead, David.
Thank you. Coach, you mentioned this being the deepest you've seen the league in your 14 seasons. How important is it for that depth to be reflected when the bracket is revealed on Selection Sunday?
Yeah, I don't really look at it that way. I mean, the regular season is the regular season, and we have 6 teams with 20 wins. You know, that's a tremendous accomplishment for the league. Someone else makes the decision as to who plays in postseason, but I think the coaches and their teams have done what they need to do to impress whatever committee, whether it's the NCAA selection committee or the NIT selection committee or any of the other postseason tournaments. The teams in our league are playing well and deserve to be in postseason.
In any given year, the CAA kind of hopes to get that second team in the tournament. Have you ever felt more confident in the prospects of getting a second, even perhaps a third team in the NCAA field?
Well, I think this is the first time in conference history that I know of that going into the CAA tournament that we have 2 teams whose RPIs are both in the 20s, which I think is reflective of how the NCAA selection committee views teams. That's one of the criterias. And with that in mind, I'm certainly hopeful that there'll be at least 2 teams in the NCAA tournament from our conference.
Thank you.
All right, Jim, thanks as always for your time today and all season long, and look forward to seeing you later this week.
Okay, thanks, everybody.